Chapter 7, Tuning In. Up to this point, we have been largely concerned with the science of prosperity. Now we shall concentrate on the techniques or mechanics of demonstration. If you have thoroughly digested the preliminary instructions and conditioned your mind, the tuning in to your good will be easy. To demonstrate prosperity is no more difficult than to tune in to a certain wavelength or station on the radio. Make a perfect contact and you get a perfect result. Make an imperfect contact and you get a distortion. There are three things necessary for tuning in to what you want. Number one, a clearly formulated idea. Number two, a word pattern to impress it upon the subconscious mind. Number three, faith to keep the idea going. If thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. And every one of these elements is necessary to a perfect demonstration. But most important of all, there is faith. Faith acts upon all the forces of the universe to materialize the things we can believe in. God made every plant of the field before it is in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. So we must make our desires before they can be fulfilled. In the beginning of everything was the word, or mental image. First must come the mental image, a clearly formulated idea. Second, the affirmation telling the subconscious that the thing imagined is already yours. Third, faith to speed up the law of attraction. Follow this pattern and your thoughts will become things, and your desires will be fulfilled. See clearly the thing that you want. Give it the power of your faith, and all the forces of the universe will rush in to give it form. The source and center of all man's creative power, says Glenn Clark, the power that above all things lift him above the level of brute creation and that gives him domination, in his power of making images or the power of imagination. Under the images, however, we must put the foundation of faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith activates our good. The moment unfaith creeps in, the image is destroyed. Baldwin said, to be ambitious for wealth and yet always expecting to be poor, to be always doubting your ability to get what you want or what you long for, is like trying to reach east by traveling west. There is no philosophy that will help a man to succeed when he is always doubting his ability to do so, thus attracting failure. You will go in the direction in which you face. There is a saying that every time the sheep bleats, it loses a mouthful of hay. Every time you allow yourself to complain of your lot, to say, I am poor, I can never do what others do, I should never be rich, I have no ability to do what others do or have what others have, you are laying up such or so much trouble for yourself. No matter how hard you may work for success, if your thought is saturated with the fear of failure, it will kill your efforts, neutralize your endeavors, and make success impossible. We must, therefore, condition our minds to receive the thing that we have imaged. The law cannot do anything for us unless we move with it. We are surrounded by the limitless, inexhaustible, all-providing power of God. But it can be to us only what we believe it to be. It is around us in the same way that the radio waves are around us and within us. God, perfection, healing, power, money, position, everything that we can possibly desire this moment in our being. We can listen or not listen, but these things do not go away because we are not listening to them. All of the things are in God, and God impetus is fulfillment. He wants us to have the money we have been trying to get, the home we have been longing for, the automobile that we have been looking for, the position we have been talking about. We feel these things and want them because God is wanting them through us. Now we come to the marvelous declaration of Jesus. The kingdom of God is within you. It is within you in the same way that the radio waves are within you. It is in with you as a potential, as the yolk is within the acorn, as the lily is within the bulb. The kingdom of God is the life principle of all form. It is omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent. It is within your consciousness waiting to be activated. It is there as everlasting life, power, prosperity, peace, and happiness. We stop or change the action of life's principle, and failure follows in our bodies or in our affairs. Robert Collier says, life is intelligent, life is all powerful, and life is always and everywhere seeking expression. What is more, life is never satisfied. It is constantly seeking greater and fuller expression. The moment you stop expressing more and more of life, the moment life starts looking around for other and better outlets. The only thing that can restrict life is the channel through which it works. The only limitation upon it is the limitation you put upon it. In other words, you are not trying something that God doesn't want you to have when you set out on the pathway of for prosperity. You are simply conforming to the law of his expression in and through you as prosperity. You are opening the way for God to reach out through you into all your life and into the lives of those about you and show forth his divine abundance of every good and every perfect gift. Here you are trying to find a way out of your cramped conditions, and all the while there is this unlimited, immeasurable, unfathomable, unexhaustible flow of promise trying to get into your life. What are you going to do with your knowledge? Are you going to bypass it as a beautiful theory, or are you going to condition your mind to receive the gift? Perhaps you are critical, doubtful, fearful, intolerant, greedy, selfish, or unkind, and have shut off your supply. You may have stopped your good so that it is now stagnating within you. Do you dislike or hate someone? The all providing power cannot flow through you while you hate, and the mighty gift that awaits you cannot materialize. Jesus said, no man can serve two masters. Ye cannot serve God and mammon. You must have a consciousness of one kind. You must be one pointed. You must see with the single eye. You must think with the mind of Christ. Now ask yourself these questions. Can a bottle contain undiluted water and undiluted ink at the same time? Can you be in the light and in the darkness at the same time? Can you be consciousness or unconscious at the same time? Can you think two thoughts at the same time? Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Is that what you have been trying to do with your life, with your thinking? Have you been trying to follow two ideas and get one result? If you have, you must get a clear realization of the principle involved and get a new relationship to it. Negative conditions are simply positive conditions in reverse. Poverty is simple prosperity turned upside down. Summary of the principles of demonstrating prosperity. Number one, the prosperity of this book is to plant the idea of prosperity so deep in our subconscious mind that it will produce definite and concrete results in your life. The result can be accomplished by the direct and immediate use of your subconscious mind. Number two, the starting point is the practice of the presence of God. You would do everything, thinking, speaking, acting, praying, working, as though you were actually in God's presence and though he were doing these things through you. Number three, practicing the presence of God merely consists of keeping God in the forefront of your consciousness as much of the time as you can and of associating him with every activity in your life. Practicing the presence is the key to spiritual demonstration. Number four, when you have a problem, bring it into the presence and ask God to solve it for you. Do not struggle with the problem or turn it over in your mind, but place it lovingly, gently, and quietly in his hands. Simply maintain your awareness of the presence and behold your problem in detachment and peace as you would view a beautiful sunset or scene. This is the law of labor's activity. You have nothing more to do. You have brought the all-providing power of God to bear upon your needs. Your problem will be solved from within. That which is hidden will be revealed. That which is lacking will be supplied. Laborless activity is the demonstration reduced to simplicity of power. Number five, the next step is to free yourself from human thinking and material attachment. If all lack, limitation, and impoverishment stem from the human mind, the mind of the flesh, to leave that mind, to allow it to fall in disuse, is to leave the limitation, struggle, and stress. Be sure that you do not use personal effort or force in any way. Let everything be done for you by letting everything be done through you. Number six, if you turn within fulfillment of your needs, you will succeed. Number seven, the only effort required in metaphysical practice is to reach a certain state of consciousness of your attitude of mind. Number eight, with all thy getting, get understanding. Understanding is sufficient for every need. If you have it, you need nothing else. It will accomplish everything that needs to be done. Number nine, to bring any desire into the presence is to fulfill it. To bring any illness into the presence is to heal it. To bring any problem into the presence is to solve it. Number 10, if you would demonstrate abundance, do not identify yourself with lack, but practice the presence of God by setting abundance everywhere and in everything. Practice the presence of God until every failure becomes a success. Number 12, if your desire is not fulfilled, it is because you are unconsciously denying it by fear, doubt, and worry. Number 13, to demonstrate a full, continuous, and irrevocable supply, you must turn from the carnal mind to the Christ mind. Number 14, the human mind believes that forms are outside of consciousness. It believes that the circumstances are greater than God and that matter is more real than spirit. Under that belief, man becomes a servant of matter instead of its master. The carnal minded man is what the world calls a materialistic. Having the principle in reverse, he is not only opposing God, but he is acting against himself. One metaphysician has referred to this type of thinking as mortal mind thinking, which is, of course, equivalent to no thinking at all. Let us remember that we cannot draw a sharp line between matter and spirit without separating ourselves from God. Matter is mind in extension, or spirit in form. Number 15, consciousness is both the center and the circumference of everything in our lives. It is continually attracting or repelling something. Number 16, since this is a mental world, everything in it can be brought into our consciousness. Ernest Holmes says, in our mental treatments for prosperity, we resolve things into ideas, conditions, and states of thought, and act upon the premise that the thought is the father of the thing. This method is both direct and effective, and when rightly used becomes a law unto the thing thought of. Number 17, everything in your life, the good and the not good, depends upon your consciousness. Change your consciousness and you change the world. Number 18, Christ consciousness. All is realized through right thinking. The undesirable trends of thought can be changed by thought control. When the mind has been divested of negative habits, its tendency is to heal automatically. The right point of view will meet any need. Number 19, it is your responsibility to know the truth and to think in God's presence. The power of your words is in your consciousness. Number 20, since there is no law of poverty, there is no excuse for being poor. Number 21, when the thought of prosperity is firmly fixed in consciousness, its manifestation is certain. Number 22, when the proper pattern has been provided, abundance will flow through your consciousness and manifest itself in your affairs. 23, the prosperity which you affirm must be supported by a rich consciousness. 24, the prosperity that you seek is seeking you. It will be manifested according to the riches in your mind. 25, maintain the eye of expectancy. The more you expect, the more your consciousness will attract. 26, you must know with your whole mind that there is no obstruction to the operation of the law of prosperity. 27, to keep matter and spirit together is to act with God. 28, when your mind acts creatively, it is not because you have made it creative, but have allowed God to act through it. 29, the four parts of demonstration are these. Number 1, making your claim. Number 2, accepting what you have claimed. Number 3, realizing the peace that comes from your consciousness of fulfillment. Number 4, the manifestation or outward manifestation of that which has been embodied within the thought. Number 30, he that hath a bountiful eye shall be blessed. To fulfill the law of prosperity, see all things with the prosperity eye.